everyone, and welcome back to Ask Prashanthi. I'm your host, Prashanthi Reddy, an immigration attorney dedicated to helping you navigate the sometimes challenging and often rewarding world of US immigration law. In this show, we tackle your questions, the real pressing concerns that you have about visas, green cards, citizenship, and everything else in between. We pull questions from all our channels right here from YouTube, from LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, those excellent submissions that you send on my website. So if you have a burning question, be sure to submit it. You might just hear it answered on a future episode. Let's address the first question, which is from Prashant Kandula. And this was asked on my YouTube channel. Will the new H1 proclamation impact H-1B Cap-exempt cases as well? That's $1 million question because we're trying to find out the answer for it. But if it helps, we recently filed a H-1B Cap-exempt case, and we did not see any extra fee attached to it when we were ready to pay the fee. So I think for now, at least for now, the only cases that might be affected are cap cases that we will have to deal with next year. So cap subject cases. I'm hoping cap exempt uh, should not have any issues. I think as of now they have not made up their minds, but since they haven't, that's to our advantage because then it will not be implemented, is my hope. Second question is from Javita Datta, and this was asked on my website. Question was asked on my website. I was on OPT in 2020, but Google approved my H-1B in October of 2020 in consular processing. However, I never activated it. And in August 2021, I left my job and I left the country, and so Google revoked my H-1B in January 2022. I was never on H-1B status. Now I want to return to the US. Can I activate my old H-1? Do I need to re-enter the lottery? If not, can Google activate it? Can only Google activate it? Recently, there was a law with 100K to pay for new employers of new H-1B workers. Will that be applicable to me? So, yes, I think you will be cap exempt. You are caps exempt, at least as per the present definition of what cap exempt is, as long as you've been counted towards a cap. Previously, even though you've never worked on a H-1B, you are considered to be cap exempt. Now, the question about the 100K fee is a different story. We don't have information, concrete information to say either way, but based on what we're seeing on the ground, it looks like they're not charging, at least as of now, the 100K fee for cap exempt um, cases. We don't know if that will change next month, next week, but as of now, it looks like at least USCIS is not charging that fee. It could be that the consulate will charge it later on, or maybe CBP will charge it, but that's the situation right now. Third question is from Shilpi Halial, and this was again on my website. Hello, I have been a permanent resident since December 2021. I have spent most of my time in India since then and used a re-entry permit once from 2023 to 2025. I am in a situation where I need to be in India, my home country, to be with my aging parents. Can I continue to keep the GC while I'm in India, caring for my parents for as many years as I need to, or do I need to relinquish my GC status? If relinquishing my GC status is the only option, then should I do it if I have a plan to move to India in Feb? When should I do it? If I have a plan to move to India in Feb 2026, that's coming up. So you can definitely apply for a return resident permit, which will allow you to stay outside the country for a further 2-year period, which you've already done before. So there is no rule that you can't apply again. So you might be able to get another 2 years and keep your green card and see how it goes. As long as you get it approved before you leave, you should be fine. If you want to give it up, then there is a form that has to be filled out and sent to USCIS here. The only reason you would relinquish it is if you want to come to the US on a different status. If you want to come to the US at all, and if you've stayed outside the country for a while and you haven't applied for a re-entry return resident permit, then you won't be allowed, or there'll be trouble for you to re-enter. So you might want to re-enter on a different status. And if you need to apply for a different status, then obviously you have to first give up your green card status formally by applying to USCIS, and then once you get a receipt from them, then you can apply for some other status to re-enter the US as a non-immigrant. Next question: if I'm married to a US citizen, how should I time my green card application if I plan to move to the US in 1 or 2 years? So if you're outside the country, US citizen green card application takes about 2 years. So you should start the process now, because it has to go through, first the I-130 has to get approved, then it has to go to National Visa Center where you upload all your documents and the fee, and then you have to wait for an interview. If you are in India, then the interview will take place in Mumbai, or whichever consulate in your country where they do family-based interviews. Next question is: former employers refuse to give an experience verification letter, which is required for my EB PERM-green card application. What other options do I have now? So if you're not able to get an employment verification letter, which I understand is required for labor certs for PERM cases, because it's, if you're showing experience and if you're saying that experience is required for the job, then you have to show that you have previous experience. And the only way of showing that is by, one of the ways of showing that is by, producing an experience letter. If you're not able to get that letter, you can also get affidavits from co-workers. Those affidavits have to be notarized. The co-worker has to say how they know you, how long they were in the company, what was their role, and what your role was in the company, and what your skill sets were, and from when to when you worked in the company. So that information can be done in the form of an affidavit from your coworker or from your manager, or from whoever knows of your work in the company. And that brings us to an end of another episode of Ask Prashanthi. I genuinely hope that the questions we answered today helped shed some light on your immigration journey. Remember, understanding your options is the first step, and then reliable information is the next. So if you have a question you want answered on the show, don't hesitate to reach out. You can leave a comment right here on YouTube, connect with us on LinkedIn or Facebook, or submit your questions directly on the website. Please follow the link in the description. See you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.